I just wanted to take a wee bit of your time and look at the new How to Train Your Dragon 2 Stormfly. She's blue, she's yellow, she shoots stuff out of her tail. Let's give her a look-see. Going backwards, here's how Stormfly appears in her How to Train Your Dragon 2 package on store shelves. You get a chance to see what she looks like, make sure she functions how you want. And you know what? I never thought about this, and someone had mentioned if I keep the boxes, but if you remove these just right, you can kind of use the boxes as display stands. Never thought about that, and now I'm kind of wishing I kept some of my boxes. Anyhow, here is the back. Posable wings, tail twist, spike action, and of course some of the other dragons available. Out of the package, Stormfly storms, and as you can obviously tell, she's a little back heavy on the tail. That's why we have the shot glass. Anyone have any Viking Scotch, by the way? So here is Stormfly, and she's a pretty cool upgrade to the last Stormfly that I've played with. We've got another blue and yellow body striping going on, translucent wings. Oh, and these are really nice wings, by the way. You can kind of see all the little scale patches in here. Those are probably the best wings I have seen in the toys. We have some feet articulation here, and they actually work pretty well, kind of like running around with Stormfly. She has articulation in her head, in which you can pop open, and hey, how's it going, Stormfly?
I'm doing good.
So she has that going for her. I'm a little bit bummed that her head is tilted to one side though, as you can see. I know it kind of gives her this attitude like thing going, but I would have preferred having it straight, just because you kind of, when you're flying, she's going to be always looking this way, so that's kind of a bummer. Anyhow, she has this weird action feature going on that makes her tail look enormous, and it features 3 projectiles, which probably sets a record for these Spin Master toys, as they usually seem to come with just 1 projectile. And anyhow, there's 3 loaded, and all you need to do is rotate the tail a little bit, and they shoot out with a pretty good force. They're a little tricky to load though, and I think it's because how the mechanism is in there. You've got to make sure that the current projectile is out of the way of whatever shoots it, and so sometimes that last load, or even this current load, is a little trickier. Let's try that action feature out again on the guy who I use his poker as a teeth pick while I'm editing videos. Looking closer again, the highlight of this toy is her translucent wings. They're really pretty. That light blue with the browning and those scales that you can kind of see patchwork through her wing. It's just a really pretty effect. It really highlights and is shiny and just makes for a really pretty figure. I should also say that these wings aren't on any springs or anything, but for the first time, and I think many of the figures, I really like this because you can kind of flip them up. They kind of hold up top well. They don't bounce back down, so kind of neat to see, and I'd like to see more dragons with wings like that. I also just noticed in my haste to get this video going that if you just pull her tail down and move her legs like so, you can have her stand without tipping over. So you do not need that shot glass of Viking Scotch. Sorry about that, kids. A quick comparison of the Defenders of Berk Stormfly, who is a girl. I got so much flack for that, I'm sorry. I was tired that day. Anyhow, there she is together with herself, and lots of differences obviously on these 2 figures. They're almost completely different figures, as well they are completely different figures, so about the same size is all you could really say about the 2. However, I think the bonus of this one is not the goofy tail, and the bonus of this one is the riding saddle, which I just now realized I haven't talked about. Here's something you didn't see coming. Let's look at Stormfly's riding saddle. And this is a pretty cool saddle out of all of them. Obviously a peg up top for Astrid, which I don't believe her figure is out yet. And some hand grips here. So that is a really nice look to her. I'm glad they're putting on these riding saddles, because that's kind of the whole point to these toys, right? So here is Stormfly grouped with 2 other dragons from How to Train Your Dragon 2. Looking forward to getting Astrid because she's kinda lonely without her. Oh, and here's Cloudjumper flying by. So far, they're standing really well together.
Excuse me, I'm Erich from the last review, and I still feel like I have not got the appropriate amount of time about my awesomeness.
So that would be Stormfly, another fascinating dragon. I totally recommend if you haven't picked up a Stormfly yet, as she is quite a bit of fun. That's what I have to say about that. Ooh, hook thing.
Squirrel interesting.